So this is a review of a set of toys called Gears from a company called Learning Resources. The Gears set has incredibly good reviews on Amazon. So I picked it up. It was $16 for 96 pieces. Half of those pieces were the actual plastic gears, and the other pieces are an assortment of these connectors, this mounting piece, I'll call it, and there was just one of these handles, and there were 6 plates. Each plate holds 4 gears. Again, all the toys are plastic, and some of them are small, so this could possibly be a choking hazard. So let's just get into it. This is a gear-based toy. There's a lot of these, and sort of like a Lego type toy, and it's all about gears. I don't know about you, I'm a huge fan of gears, so I was really excited to see this thing. This is the simplest toy or design you can make with it, and it's just a demonstration of the interlocking gears and how when you turn one in one direction, the ones next to it will turn in the opposite direction. The gears are held in place, obviously, using this point right here, and it presses either directly onto the plate or directly onto another gear. And this is a press fit, or it could press onto the connector piece. In that case, it's free to spin. Basic situation is you get the gears, the base plate, you press this orange piece into it, and you could theoretically put a gear on there, but it's not going to do much good. But what you really need to do is mount a piece here, and these orange connector pieces can mount to all 6 sides of the connector, and the gears can only go on the 2 sides. So you could turn this, obviously, any other way and have it, but it's only 2 sides that can mount a gear, and the gears can interact. This is obviously a 90-degree angle. So the teeth of the gears will work at angles. The issue with the design of the gears set is there's not a whole lot of options on how you can interact. So I could do a 90-degree angle. I could do set them parallel, but I cannot mount a gear here and get that to turn the corner. So there are some limitations to how this works. If I mount a gear here, obviously it's free flowing, and I could build up here with more of these pieces and build my a tower of gears. And I've had one gear spinning all 48 or all 47 of the other gears with no problems. So the more corners you turn like this, then you're doing a different connector with the gears, and you'll get more resistance, but it will work. And the handle piece, it'd be nice to get more of these, but it really doesn't do much. It just lets you enable that. So for $16, this is a really nice kit. I was very impressed with how much I got, and really the low entry point was pretty awesome. So as for advanced functionality, you could stack the gears. This doesn't do a whole lot for you. You know, maybe you can make some nice designs. You could stack gears on one and then stack the gear next to it. You know, that's okay, but you know, you get into issues with this handle hitting because the handle is in a trough between the two. So I want to hop over and look at a more advanced design. Not necessarily very artistic, but you can see this is switching things up a little bit. And what's happening here is I have a free-flowing gear, no big deal. I use the gears mounted at the base in order to spin the columns. Again, not particularly sophisticated, but I just wanted to show some of the things you can do as you want to grow with these toys. Mounting a gear to the side is going to break it and not enable you to spin all the way, or you got to force it through. So there's definitely some issues there, but it's pretty cool that you can mount the columns, and maybe you could do something clever with that. On this side, I just wanted to show what it looks like to spin a corner. So I will zoom this up a little bit. And now we could see by turning the bottom, we are working our way up the columns, turning the gear here, turning that right angle, going up the side, turning the gear on the roof and going back down. So that's pretty cool. It lets me build out the inner of this triangle, of this rectangle rather. But again, what I can't do is turn this angle and get these two to spin. Even if I build this out, turning the right corner like this is not easily done, just because turning it here is fine, and I could mount a gear here and build myself a cube, or at least an enclosure for this rectangle, but there's no, I don't have enough of a radius between here and here to mount this right there, unfortunately. So definitely a problem there, and that's just, I believe, a shortcoming of this design, at least with this kit. It's entirely possible that the company has different kits that can be used, and I plan on purchasing them in the future, so I'm very impressed with this set. Like I said, it's $16 for 96 pieces, and you get a selection of those 5 pieces I showed you. And here's a 4-plate set, and here's what 6 looks like. Just a quick shortcoming I've also found is that connecting the 2 plates to each other is not always very easy, especially with parts installed. And while this kit was good for younger children, like 2 and 3 even, probably more like 3 than 2, I have found that the connections are hard to make for younger kids. So mounting the gears on a piece like this, very easy. A 3-year-old could definitely do that. Pulling this piece out of the orange actually requires a fair bit of force. As an adult, I could do it, obviously, but I'm pulling harder than I expected, which is a press fit. So that's going to be an issue with younger kids. Maybe the toys break in a little bit over time, but I'm not guaranteed that that's the case. So I think that is going to be an issue with smaller kids. You really do have to press pretty hard to get those pieces in there. So another minor issue. And that's just because they use a press fit instead of a locking fit like a Lego. On the flip side, you have larger pieces, and so maybe it's not that bad. The last thing I'd point out is that I have a feeling that these little green guys are going to break off over time. Pressing on and off isn't an issue, but if you were to step on this piece, in addition to being pretty painful, I feel like there's a pretty good shot that you are going to crack it. Same with these little pieces on the side. So from a wear and tear standpoint, I don't know, this is completely up to what I'd like to see, whereas like Legos and blocks and those sort of things are totally indestructible. That said, for $16 for 96 pieces, it's really a minimal spend here. So I don't think you have to be overly concerned about parts breaking. I'd be more worried about it leaving a sharp corner and just having to throw those parts out. So yeah, that is the Gears entry-level set from innovation research. Check the show notes for all the details and links to where you can find them.